Hello, stamping friends. It's Angie here with Too Cool Stamping. It is May 3rd, 2022. Do you know what that day is? It's New Catalog Day. I hope that you have gotten the message that today it's here. You can order all the new products from the new catalog. And really I think there's only one thing that's delayed and I can't even remember what it is, but most of the things all of the things just about are available. So that is also a really, really good thing since we've had so many delays so many times. But this episode is gonna have a lot. Because there's a lot going on, and I just want to make sure that you're all aware of all of the fun promotions that are happening now, not only with Stampin' Up, but also with my Too Cool Stamping promotions that I'm doing for the new catalog. So let's get started. We're gonna first talk about some of the announcements, and so that you know where to get the catalog. If you need one, you can always go to toocoolstamping.com and let me know. You can send me a message here on Facebook if you want to. Let me know that you need a catalog and I can get that out to you. Also, you can go to toocoolstamping.com to get the whole summary of all of the things that we're going to be talking about. So that's always the best, kind of like the hub to go to with all the information. But I'm going to give you a summary of what is happening. And it all kind of surrounds the in colors today. And you know, that's one of the most exciting things about when a new catalog comes is to see what the in colors are. And you've probably, if you've been online for the past couple of weeks, they've already been announced. I did a special introduction a few days ago on my blog, toocoolstamping.com. So you can go to that. You can see color comparisons, see how they compare to current colors. I also have some comparisons to some old colors, and give you kind of an idea of what those new colors are all about. Today we're going to use those colors in our class, as well as the Sending Smiles bundle, which is one of my favorites from the new catalog, simply because it's so versatile with all of the sentiments. So you'll see what I mean in a minute. But before we get started with that, let's go over some of the things that are happening with the new catalog release. And one of my favorites that has to do with the in colors is the In Color Starter Kit promotion. You guys, I love it when Stampin' Up! Does a starter kit promotion. Sometimes they're better than others, and this one is fantastic, especially right now with the new colors coming out, and everybody wants to get their hands on those. The starter kit right now, if you purchase a $99 starter kit, you can get a selection of In Color products to go with it that is totally free, and it's valued at $66.50 here in the United States. So let me tell you about that. Remember, any time of the year, a starter kit is $99. You can select up to $125 worth of products of your choice. You get free shipping on that order, and all your future orders are going to be at 20% discount because you'll be part of the Too Cool Stampers family, part of the Stampin' Up! Family. So as a demonstrator, you're going to get that discount. Remember, there's no obligation to sell. You don't have to do classes like I'm doing. You don't have to do workshops. You can simply enjoy the discount. Be a happy shopper. It's like buying into Costco and getting that special discount on all of your favorite stamping supplies. That is the starter kit all year round. This month only, starting today through the end of May, the In Color starter kit is going to include, let me look at the flyer to make sure I have all the things here. So you're going to get all of the In Color stamp pads. So you'll get the 5 colors. Let's go over those really quickly. The Sweet Sorbet, the Parakeet Party, the Tahitian Tide, the Orchid Oasis, and the Starry Sky. I have them memorized now, and I'll show you what those colors are when we turn the camera around. But you're going to get all 5 of those ink pads. You're going to get an assortment of cardstock, a cardstock assortment, 1 pack of 24. Is it 24? Now I don't know how many pieces are in there. But anyway, it's an assortment pack of cardstock. You also get the Designer Series paper 6x6 pack of In Color, and In Color grid paper. So you're going to have a nice workspace that is really pretty and is in all of the different In Colors as well. So you're going to get that. It's valued at $66.50 in addition to the $125 in product that you select, whatever you want to that's current, plus that free shipping on the entire order. You're also going to get a paper pumpkin kit in your package as well. And like I said, you're going to get that 20% discount. Now that is not all, because of course being a part of the Stampin' Up! Team and being a part of my Too Cool Stampers team, you're going to get a lot of behind the scenes perks as well. So let's go over some of those really quickly, because you guys, I don't want you to miss out. If you've ever thought about signing up, if you have a big wish list with the new catalog and you're going to want to place a lot of orders, if you consistently place orders every week or every month, this is a great way to get a discount on that. If you're a new stamper that is trying to build your stamping collection, these are the types of people that really, really benefit from this starter kit any time of year. But right now, if you've ever been on the fence, get off the fence, because it is absolutely awesome right now. So let me tell you some other perks that you get. With Stampin' Up!, of course, you receive that 20% off discount on all of your future orders while you remain an active demonstrator. You'll also have VIP access to all the new product releases. So every time we have a new catalog come out, you get to be a part of the pre-order a whole month ahead of all of the normal customers. So our next catalog is the July to December mini catalog. We actually get to see that May 25th. So if you're a demonstrator, you get to see that right away. And then starting in June, I think, we get to order from that catalog because it comes out in July. So you always get the first selection of ordering from the pre-orders. You also have the opportunity to earn incentives, to earn extra cash through lots of different programs that they have, compensation programs, and you'll have access to an amazing resource of projects and ideas and business training and everything that goes along with being a part of Stampin' Up! That's not all, because you're also, if you sign up with me, I have some exclusive benefits just for you. And that includes not only, being a part of my amazing team. We have team members from all across the country, several here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's where I'm based. But one of my favorite parts of our team is that nowadays I've been allowing them to have access to my class tutorials. So every live class that I do, every Countdown to Christmas class, any class that I offer, they will get the tutorial for that at absolutely no charge. We just have a library open for them to have that as a resource. Also, if they want to, I know many of you ask me this, if I sign up, can I still get the live kits? Because I love getting those every week. Yes. And the best part is, as a member of my team, you just need to request a kit, and then I just charge you $15 for the kit. That includes the mailing, and you can just purchase the supplies on your own. That way you can get a discount. You don't purchase the supplies from me. So I know a lot of people are asking about that. Yes, there's a way to do that, and you actually get a discounted kit as a part of my team. We have a team blog. We do weekly updates. We have a monthly Zoom meeting. We call it our Stamp and Share event, where we have creative presentations, recognition, prizes. We do a swap. We have, what else do we have? We have a Facebook exclusive community where you can, get to know some of your other team members. You can ask questions. You can share project ideas, all kinds of things. And then if you do want to take it to the next level, if you want to not just be a hobbyist, but you want to start earning some extra money, I can help you with that too. I do one-on-one training. So anyway, there's so many good reasons to purchase this starter kit. And like I said, no obligation. You don't have to sell. Just enjoy that discount. So I want to make sure you knew all about that, because this is one of the most exciting starter kit promotions I've seen. The value of it is more than I've ever seen, and I'm sure, I'm sure that's going to really be attractive to a lot of people. Okay, so that's not all. We have the In Color starter kit promotion happening now. Also, with the new In Colors, I have my In Color Club. So if you're not going to be joining up, then try the In Color Club. What is the In Color Club? Well, you can go to my toocoolstamping.com website for all the details, but in a short summary, I gather together 5 people, and then each month you will receive 1 color's worth of product. So you'll get, for example, your first month might be Sweet Sorbet, and you're going to get the cardstock. You're going to get the ink, the refill, the designer series paper, the marker, the ribbon, and this year I'm also including the twine. There's a new pack of twine that's in the In Colors as well. So you'll get all of those things, plus you're going to get supplies to make 4 cards. It's all one design, 4 of those, that same design, that you can start creating with the products that you get in your kit. So you'll have that 1 month for 5 months in a row. You'll get each of the colors month by month. So that's what we do. You can get all the information, like I said, at toocoolstamping.com. There are signups there. When you sign up, you don't have to pay right away. I just am trying to get groups together of 5. And once I get a group of 5, then I will let you know that your group is filled up and your club is on. And then I will send out invoices to you at that time, and we'll get your products on order for the first month. And then that will continue every month. So if you have any questions, you can certainly let me know. But again, go to toocoolstamping.com for that. Let's see. Other In Color things. There's a paper pumpkin out right now until the 10th of May. It's called Celebrate In Color, and it's all about the In Colors. So if you haven't tried paper pumpkin and want to give it a try, this is the month to subscribe. You're going to have a fantastic kit. There's also a special in the paper pumpkins. They are giving out random golden vouchers for free product. So you can go to my website, Too Cool Stamping, to get all the details. So I'm trying to get through these because there's so many things going on, but I want to make sure that you know about them. Let me check my list. So we have, one more thing, the paper share with the new papers in the catalog. I have that going on. That's been so popular so far. Lots of people signing up. Again, kind of like the In Color Club, I'm collecting groups of 8 people, and then we're gonna share all of the new papers, all the designer series papers, all the specialty papers. We will split those up into 6x6 sheets, and everyone will get 1 each of all the different new papers. So you can get all of that information at my website. You know what it is, toocoolstamping.com. And that's only $45 for, I think you get 142 sheets. So fantastic value, a great way to get your hands on all the new products without spending a fortune. It's really a budget-friendly way to sample everything, and then you can find out what you really like and you'll order more of that. Find out what you might not like so much, and then you know not to order that. So it's a great way to just kind of get a sampling of all the different papers. I don't think I mentioned the price for the In Color Club. It's $48 per month. Again, there's shipping on the paper share. There's shipping on the In Color Club as well if you're not here local in Fort Wayne. But check it out, toocoolstamping.com. It's going to have all the details for everything I've talked about. All right, now I think I've talked about all of the promotions that I wanted to share. We'll go on to our kit tonight, our class tonight, and I do want to mention, and I mentioned this last week, because there's a new catalog and we have had some price increases, I am upping my minimum order for my class kit. Before it was $35, and starting with the new catalog, it is now $40 minimum order in order to earn your weekly class kit. So just want to make sure that you are aware of that. Have to keep up with the pricing. I hate to do it to you, and I'm so sorry, but that does include when you place your order, you're going to get your kit with all your supplies, and it's going to be mailed out to you. And so that is all included for free, just with that $40 or more order. Okay, let's flip the camera around and actually take a look at those In Colors. You guys, if you haven't seen them before, you're going to love, love, love them. At least I do. So let me flip everything here. Give you that special shot of my ceiling. I always love that. I'm sure you do too. Someday I'll have a better setup and you won't have to have to see all that. All right, so today we're doing Sending Smiles is our special bundle. Again, we're having that 5-card class kit like we normally do. You'll need to place a $40 order now to earn that, and you'll also need to make sure that you put in the host code that I have for this class. I do have the Artfully Composed class that's still available through the end of today. So I have 2 classes going on, so you really need to use that host code so I know which class that you want. And this one is G2PNWZFA. And you can also find that on my website, toocoolstamping.com, if you forget. All right, let's look at what we're going to be working with today. Sending Smiles is one of my favorite bundles from the new catalog. It has really pretty floral images, but the whole thing that I love the most is all of the different sentiments, and it all surrounds the word sending. So you have sending smiles across the miles, all the good luck your way, sunshine to brighten your day, love and big hugs, birthday wishes, a note of thanks, a card to say hello, and comfort and strength. They all go together with the word sending, and some of them can be used independently as well. So lots of versatility. You could cover a lot of occasions with the stamp set. A very awesome one to add to your collection. You also have the sending dies. I didn't know what they were called. I'd never looked at the name of them before. So these are going to have all of your cutouts for all of the different flowers and leaves. So everything you stamp can be die cut. Plus you're going to have the word sending that you can cut out, and a layer that you can put either behind the word sending as a die cut, or you can stamp on it and have the stamped word cut out. So either way, it works really awesomely. And then you have 2 different sizes here of labels that go with those different sentiments perfectly. So lots of fun. And I'll show you how to use a lot of these dies. We're not even going to use all of them. We don't have enough cards and time to do that, but you'll get the idea of how a lot of those are being used. Now let's take a look at the In Colors. These are some of my favorite collection of In Colors that we've had since I've been a demonstrator, and I've been a demonstrator for 18 years. So when we're talking about that In Color starter kit promotion, these are the designer series papers that you are going to receive. You're going to receive a 48 pack. Is it 48 pack? That's not true. Now I can't remember. Let me see if it says. I think it's 10 each of the, I want to look and make sure because I don't want to give you the wrong information. I think it's 10 each of all the different colors. 40 sheets. Sorry, 4 sheets of 2 double-sided designs. So you'll get 40 sheets each. And here are all the different patterns. You're going to have the floral pattern. You're going to have a plaid. And then on the back sides, polka dots and stripes. So this is Starry Sky. This is the Orchid Oasis, Tahitian Tide, Parakeet Party, and Sweet Sorbet. So you'll have lots and lots of different patterns to work with. Again, that's going to be part of the In Color starter kit promotion, as well as my In Color Club. So either way you want to go, if you want to be a part of the team or not, you can get your hands on that. And then here are the cardstocks in the Starry Sky, Orchid Oasis, Tahitian Tide, Parakeet Party, and Sweet Sorbet. And you'll receive an assortment of cardstock with that In Color promotion. Also, you'll for my In Color Club, you receive a whole pack. Depending on what month and what color you're getting, you'll get a whole pack of that color. So you'll get a lot more in my club than you get with the starter kit. However, when you get the starter kit, then everything you buy is 20% off. So it's going to be up to you on which way you want to go with that. All right, I also wanted to show you this beautiful ribbon we're going to be using, the In Color ribbon. It is a metallic, it's called, what is it called? I guess it's just called metallic. Oh, here it is, metallic woven ribbon. So you have beautiful shimmery colors, and they're a little bit darker than, or some of them are a little bit darker than the actual color, but it's just because of all of the sparkle and everything. I really like how they look, and it's also a woven or almost like a braided, and you can kind of fray the ends. That are really nice too. So you can see how you can kind of fray the ends there. So we'll be using that on several of the cards as well. And the projects that we're doing tonight, not only are they for the 5-card class kit, the class kit being what we're working on this week, you'll have a time to earn that until May 10th. That's next Tuesday. And then I'll mail everything out the following week by May 17th. So every card that we're doing tonight that I'm sharing with you, that will have all the supplies to make those cards in this 5-card class kit. And if you're a part of my In Color Club, these are the cards that you'll be getting in the In Color Club. Only you'll get 4 each of each design. So each month you'll do a Parakeet party. You'll have the 4 Parakeet party cards to put together. So again, toocoolstamping.com. It's going to have all the information there. Let's get started with our cards. Thank you so much for bearing with me through all the announcements. We just had so much fun happening. I just want to make sure everyone's aware. All right, we're going to start out with Sweet Sorbet. And this isn't Sweet Sorbet, this is Flirty Flamingo, but this is a great way to show you how Flirty Flamingo really goes with Sweet Sorbet so well. So many of these colors have a lot of really great coordination with bright colors, and some with the pastel colors as well. But I love Sweet Sorbet with the Flirty Flamingo. This is a vertical card base. It's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Next up, we're going to have 2 pieces of the Designer Series paper. These are 4 by 1. And we're just going to add each one of these to the card front to kind of have a little background. And I'm just adding that with seal adhesive. So just put those on there. I also have a piece of Granny Apple Green, and this is 3/4 by 5 1/2. And this is going to go down the length of our cardstock, our card front here. And we're going to add one of the ribbons, the Sweet Sorbet ribbon. And I'm just going to put that around here and tie it in a double knot. Now I will say one thing about this ribbon, because it's that glimmer and kind of metallic-y feeling, it is a little more slippery, so not as easy to tie as far as a bow, and sometimes your knot becomes a little bit slippery, so be careful with that. You want to make sure you have a nice good knot. All right, so here is our background. Now let's work on our focal point. I have a basic white piece here. This is already die cut using the stitched rectangles dies. And I'm going to add 1 flower from the Sending Smiles. We're going to start with the leaves in the Parakeet Party. Let me get this inked up a little better. Now, I wanted to mention that if you are doing the In Color Club, of course, if you get the Sweet Sorbet month, you might not necessarily have the Parakeet Party ink color yet. But it does look really good with Granny Apple Green, which is why I put that down there. Or you can even use a Pear Pizzazz or Soft Seafoam, any other green that you might have on hand, or just wait for your next kit so that you can get that Parakeet Party. I'm going to stamp the flower image in the Sweet Sorbet. And then I'm going to add, I could have inked that up a little bit better, but we'll just go with it. The center, there's a little center image, and I'm stamping that in the Flirty Flamingo. And then I'm going to layer that on a piece of Poppy Parade. So the Sweet Sorbet is it's kind of like a light version of the Poppy Parade. I don't know if you can see the difference there, but it's a little bit lighter than this Poppy Parade. And this piece is 1 1/2 by 3 1/2. And I'm just going to add some seal down the center, and then center this over the top. We're going to pop that up with some dimensionals. And we'll put it right over that granny apple green strip. Just like so. We're going to finish up with a little sentiment. I've already pre-die cut one of those labels from the sending dies. And then we're just going to add in Sweet Sorbet. You could pick any of the short standalone type of sentiment, birthday wishes. This one happens to be a note of thanks. And then for these little tiny labels, I highly recommend the mini dimensionals. They work perfectly for this size. So I'm just going to put 3 of those on there, spread them out. If you don't have mini dimensionals, you can always cut your dimensionals in half, or you can even use the dimensional edging. Don't forget about that. Just cut little pieces of that. And that's what I was doing here. You can just cut little pieces of it off and use it all, you know? Don't throw that away. So there's our sentiment, and then we'll finish up with some champagne rhinestones. Add a couple here, add one up here, and there we have it. So this is our first card from our 5-card kit. It will also be the cards, you'll get 4 each of this card for your In Color Club month. That is for Sweet Sorbet. Okay, let me show you the Too Cool version. You know I like to do 2 cool versions of every card whenever I can. This one starts with the Orchid Oasis. That's what I used for the card base as well as the designer series paper. I did use the Parakeet Party for that strip down the background. I used Starry Sky for the background underneath the focal point. I stamped in Fresh Freesia, Highland Heather for the middle, not Granny Apple Green, Parakeet Party for the leaves, and then I added some iridescent rhinestones. And of course that ribbon, that's the Starry Night, or no, that's the Orchid Oasis ribbon, and I stamped the sentiment in Fresh Freesia. So 2 different ways that you can do that with your In Colors. All right, next up, we're going to start with Parakeet Party this time. We have a regular traditional card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. This will be a horizontal card, and I have a piece here of the designer series paper. It's 1 3/4 by 4 1/4, and we'll add that down this right hand side. And then let's do some stamping. So I have a piece here of basic white. This is, it's kind of an odd size, but it's 4 1/8 by 3 3/8. So let's do some stamping with that. We're going to start with some of the different leaves in the Parakeet Party. So let's try one right here. Let's get our other leaf. Well, let's do the same one. We're going to have one coming off this way. And then we're going to add some leaves at the bottom. Let me get a piece of copy paper real quick. Oh, I know I can use I'll use my little starter kit flyer. You can go to my website and print out the starter kit flyer for more information there. But I didn't want to get my piercing mat all dirty, and I like to use a piercing mat with the photopolymer. It just gives a better transfer of ink. So I'll add a little bit of greenery around the bottom and also to the side. Whoops, I think I added a little bit too much greenery because I put some where I wanted to put a flower. but we'll just make do with that. So I have different colors of flowers here. Let's clean off our large flower. I found that I really, really like polished pink with many of these in colors. I just love how that comes together. I also really like the fresh freesia, so we'll do that one as well. And then another one we're going to do in the Flirty Flamingo. And that is going to go right here. So that's all we're going to do with that, except we are going to add a little, let's see, I'm trying to find my little, I hate it when you know exactly what you want and you cannot find it. Here it is. Oh my goodness. I have way too many things here that I'm looking at. So I'm trying to find the center of the flowers. We're going to do that in Pale Papaya. So I have a larger flower center there, and then there's a little tiny dot that you can put in the middle of both of these flowers, also in Pale Papaya. All right, now let's add that to our basic black layer. And I'll give you the measurement for that. This one is 4 1/4 by 3 1/2. And now we're going to add that big word, sending. So again, when I put this together, when I was designing them, I was trying to think of if I was getting this color, Parakeet Party, in my In Color club, and I was making 4 cards, and I didn't have all of the other colors yet, what would I be stamping in? So that is why I chose black for the sending. And that's why I also chose different colors here for the inside. And you can choose whatever colors that you like. Anything that's going to go well with the Parakeet Party, which you could do blues. There's all kinds of brights that you could do. Just a lot of different variety. So I stamped the sending, and then I would use the sending dies to cut that out. See how that works? Beautiful. And we're going to put this on our card about right there. So we want to have a little finish of our sending sentiment. So we're going to finish with love and big hugs. Okay, let's pop this up. Well, first let's put some ribbon around it. You knew I was going to have to put the gingham ribbon on here somewhere, since I was using black as the sentiment. I just love this ribbon so much. I want to use it on every project these days. I don't know why. All right. And then we'll just trim off that. We're going to pop this up onto our card front. So we'll need several dimensionals here. Go a little crazy. I love black and the pop of green. So we'll add this kind of to the left-hand side, and then we'll put this sending right over the top here. Now this part's going to overhang, so let's put some mini dimensionals on that G, and the rest of it, I'm actually going to use a little bit of Tombow liquid glue. You could use Seal, but this is going to just a little tiny bit. You don't need much. Take the backing off of your mini dimensionals. And then add that right over the top. So, so pretty. So there it is. So there's our second card. This is the Parakeet Party in color. Again, with your 5-card kit, you'll get all the supplies to make this card. If you have your In Color club, you'll have all the supplies to make 4 of this card. Now, our Too Cool version. Again, I started with the Orchid Oasis, the Orchid Oasis Designer Series paper. I tried out some different colors. I used Coastal Cabana, Orchid Oasis here, the Fresh Freesia, and then I stamped the inside colors with Mango Melody, and then used Orchid Oasis for the sentiment. There is a matte here of Starry Sky, and I did use the Starry Sky ribbon for the bottom there. So those are our 2 versions. And again, this is the one that's going to be in your kit. All right, our third color, Tahitian Tide. If you've been around Stampin' Up! A long time, you might remember Tempting Turquoise. It's very similar to that. I think it's a little bit lighter, but we've been missing that color. So this is a Tahitian Tide card base. It's 7.5 by 5.5, scored at, it's scored at 4 1/4 this way, but it's actually, it might be 3 1/4 this way. So it has a little short card front. Now I have a piece here of the Tahitian Tide, and I've already embossed it, and I, for the life of me, cannot remember what that embossing folder is. Let me look really quickly because I want to give you the right information. It is called Pretty Flowers. Of course it is, because it is pretty and there are flowers. So this is 3 by 5 1/4. I thought these embossed flowers, the texture kind of reminds me of the Sending Flowers images, so we put that on there. On the inside, we have our 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece that we'll have for our message. I'm going to decorate that with a 1 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Designer Series paper. So we'll just put that right down the edge, and this is the only part that's going to be showing when you have your card closed. Now you'll want to do, if you want to do any stamping on the inside, you'll definitely want to do that before you adhere that to the inside of your card. All right, let's work on the focal point. We have a piece here of basic white, and this is a 1 7/8 by 3 1/4. We have that kind of a weird measurement because we wanted it to fit inside of this Scalloped Contours die cut in the Tahitian Tide. So we're going to find my little leaves here that I want to use. I'm going to use the Parakeet Party again. And again, if you don't have Parakeet Party, I'm using that green on every one, but you can use Pear Pizzazz, you can use soft sea foam, whatever works for you, whatever you have on hand. This time, we're going to try the other flower. Here it is. And it's kind of a profile of a flower. And we'll do that in Tahitian Tide. And then I'm going to do the other flower in polished pink. And then the centers I'm going to do in a little bit brighter this time. Instead of the Pale Papaya, we're going to do Mango Melody. And there's actually a little flower center that's a profile. So you'll want to find that one. Add it to the, whoops, I didn't do that very well. Let's try it again. There we go, that's a little better. And then the flower center little dot on this one. And then we'll add that to our scalloped contour die cut. All right. And then I'm layering that on a piece of Parakeet Party. And I want this one to go directly onto my card front. It's going to be about there. And so I'm going to use my seal so that I know exactly where to put it so that I don't put it over here because I don't want it to adhere to the inside layer. So just flip that over 180. Then we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of the scalloped piece. Pop that up a little bit. Whoops, not upside down. Shoo, that was close. All right. We're going to add a sentiment. Again, I have another little piece here. And so I'll choose a little sentiment, and it's going to be, of course, why can't I find the one that I wanted? There's so many sentiments. Here it is. Birthday Wishes. We're going to do that in the polished pink. And this time, we're not going to pop it up since we popped up the background layer. We'll just use a little bit of seal. Add that right across the bottom here. And we're going to finish it with some rhinestones. I'm going to give you rhinestones if you happen to order the Stampin' Blends, which with the In Color Club, you can add Stampin' Blends to go with your color for the month for an additional $10.50. That will allow you to have the Stampin' Blends. So for this one, I'm going to use the Stampin' Blends to color in a couple of different sizes here. This is the dark Tahitian Tide. So I won't do these ahead of time, but if you want to, you can color those rhinestones to match with your own Stampin' Blends. It's one of my favorite Stampin' Blend techniques, is to color rhinestones, because I love everything to coordinate so perfectly. All right, then we're going to tie this around the card front. I'm going to show you what my finished one looks like. So I did that, and then I also frayed the edges here, so you can see it's kind of has a little bit more texture there. And then don't forget to do the stamping on the inside to make it really pretty. So this is going to be the third card, the Tahitian Tide card from your 5-card kit for this week. And you'll get 4 of these cards, or the supplies to make 4 of these cards in your In Color kit for this color month. All right, too cool. Second version is all in white for the background. I thought that was kind of fun. I used the Splashes and Stripes design or texture folder for the inside there. Some Orchid Oasis ribbon, Orchid Oasis on the Parakeet Party. And the flowers are both Orchid Oasis stamped once, and then this one is stamped off once. Orchid Oasis for the sentiment, and I used a different sentiment. Oh, in the middle is polished pink. I really am liking the polished pink. I use that on just about every card. Love that. All right, hope you guys enjoyed those too. Let's move on to our 4th card. This time it is Orchid Oasis as our In Color. We have a background here that's Orchid Oasis. Traditional size of 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. And then let's start working right away on our background. This one is going to be a horizontal. I have a piece here that is 5 by 3.75. And then we're going to use one of the different leaves, the smaller leaf, with the Parakeet Party. And we're just going to start stamping some different ones in different sizes and different angles. All across. Then we're going to use this other floral image. It kind of reminds me of a lilac. And so I thought with the purpley look of the Orchid Oasis, it'd be a good time to do that. So I'm stamping once with the Orchid Oasis and again without inking up. So you can do that several times. Like that. You can add as many of those as you want to. And then fill in any of the bottom with your leaf, branch, like so. And then we're going to add a little strip here of designer series paper in the Orchid Oasis right across the bottom. And then we'll put that right on a mat of Starry Sky. I love how Orchid Oasis and Starry Sky, they're like the light and dark versions of the same color. They have kind of, sometimes they look more blue, sometimes they look more purple. I'm adding one of the Orchid Oasis ribbons around it. Again, it's a little bit slippery, so you need to make sure that you really make that tight. Okay, so this one is not as tight as I would like it, so we're going to cheat a little bit, and I'll show you how to do that. So before you put it on there, you want to tighten it up a little bit in the back. And all I'm going to do is just add a little bit of seal and then pull that a little bit tighter and have it stick on that seal, so that it just kind of makes that gap a little bit better. Except I don't want it on that side. I want it over here. So let's try it again. I want this knot to be over here. Now we'll go in the back and tighten that up a little bit. There we go. Take up that gap a little bit. All right, now we're ready to put that on our card base. And we'll add in our sentiment. I've die cut the word sending. It's such a beautiful, delicate little word. And we're going to use some Tombow liquid glue to add that to our piece. And I'm just going to use little tiny dots of glue. If you wanted to, you could use a sponge and your craft mat and really get that glue nicely, have it nicely distributed, but very lightly distributed so that it didn't kind of ooze out underneath. So that's why I'm using little tiny dabs. So this is going to go right along the top. And if you just kind of hold that in place for just a few seconds, then it will stay. Then we're going to finish up with a sentiment along the bottom. Now you saw me, I moved my copy paper out of the way because I want a dark area here. It makes it a little bit easier to stamp on a little tiny strip like this when you have a contrasting background. Now the other thing I noticed sometimes when you take it out of the die cutter, it's like this. And it's kind of hard to stamp on it when it's not lying flat. So just run your finger across it and kind of pull it the other direction. That way it's going to lay a lot more flat for you. And then I'm going to stamp the sentiment in Orchid Oasis, of course. This time it's going to say, smiles across the miles. So sending smiles across the miles. And I do have another tip to tell you about, because one thing I noticed for these sentiments that are longer, when you put them on the block and you're kind of putting them on like this, it's very easy to get them crooked. You don't want them to be crooked. So here's my little tip for you. When you're going to put them on the block, lay them on your table first so that they have a natural, they're laying naturally. You're not putting them on something. You're not forcing them anywhere. You're just letting it lay there. And then put your block over the top of it. That's going to be the easiest way to have it stay straight and not have a little curve to it just because your finger didn't put it on the block completely straight. All right, we'll just add that with, you can add it with a little Tombow or some seal, and then get your adhesive all over your piercing mat like I did. So probably not the best option. Use some Tombow liquid glue. And I'm gonna just add this right across the bottom here in our striped area. All right, I'm just gonna show you how I finished it up. So here's my finished card, and I did a little better with this one. I had a little bit more more lavender stamped on here. So take your time and make sure you have, you know, lots of little stems to put your lavender on there. So I finished it up by using regular rhinestones and then coloring those with the dark Orchid Oasis blends to get some really pretty matching rhinestones. I don't know if you can see it, but I also used the Wink of Stella Glimmer Shimmer and very delicately traced the letters of the sending. And if you can see that, it has just a little bit of shine to it. Kind of picks up the accents of the rhinestones and also the glimmer of the ribbon. So I really liked how that looked. Takes a little bit of extra time, but it's kind of fun. So this is the card that will be in your 5-card kit, and you'll have 4 supplies to make 4 of these cards in your Orchid Oasis In Color Club kit. Too Cool version. We went really bright this time. I started with Mango Melody and the Sweet Sorbet. I used the Sweet Sorbet Designer Series paper and ribbon, Mango Melody for the flowers, and it has some variation here. That's simply because I had just inked up my Mango Melody and I hadn't spread out the ink very well, so I had some spots that had a little more ink and some spots that didn't. Kind of turned it into a fun watercolor look. So that's my Mango Melody. We have Parakeet Party for the leaves, and then Sweet Sorbet for the sentiment. And I use the Sweet Sorbet blends for the markers. All right, final card. And I have to have a shout out to Monica Davis. I am using a lot of her design that she used for a recent swap card on this one. It starts out with a basic white, thick. Remember to use the thick version of basic white if you're using it as a card base. And then I have 3 pieces of the In Colors here. Tahitian Tide, Orchid Oasis, and Starry Sky. They're all the same measurement of 3.5 by 1.5. And then we're gonna put that on a piece of basic white. This one is 5 by 3 3/4. And I'm gonna just kind of lay this out and see what it looks like. I think I have this a little bit too. I think the one that I think it's supposed to be a little bit shorter than 3 3/4, but I'm not sure. I think I cut it wrong. I'll have to double check, and you'll have to look on my blog and see what the actual measurements are. But you're gonna want to just space these equally apart. So I put one on the bottom, put the lightest one, Tahitian Tide, on the top. And then you're going to put your Orchid Oasis in the center. I guess this was the right. So you want to do a little bit better job of spacing those out than I just did. But that's going to go across the front of your card. Before we do that though, I have a piece here of Designer Series paper. This is 2 by 4 1/4. And I'll add that across the card front. And then I'm going to just add this directly over the top. Kind of a fun background with all those fun in colors. All right, now we have lots of things we're going to add to it as far as a focal point and a sentiment. They're all things that are die cut. So what you would want to do is stamp all of these things. I will be in your kit. Just a reminder, things that are stamped and then die cut, I don't typically give you the die cut because it's hard to stamp on a die cut. So I'll give you the basic white, and then you can stamp all of your images and then die cut those if you have the bundle. If you do not have the bundle, it's a little bit of fussy cutting. So you'll have all of these pieces. These are in the polished pink, and then this one is in the Parakeet Party. I did notice, just like I mentioned with the sentiments and being kind of, you know, if you don't just let them lay naturally and then put your block on top, they can get a little warped. Same goes with your sending. It's a pretty long, kind of flimsy piece of polymer. You're going to want to put that naturally on your table, then put the block on top. Same with your leaf and stems here, because these are such little tiny skinny photopolymer pieces. When you try to put it on the block manually, it's very easy to get it a little out of shape, and then they're not going to match up with your die cuts. So that's the biggest thing. It wouldn't necessarily matter except if you're die cutting. All right, let's assemble all of these pieces. We're going to start with our leaves and stems. And we'll add that right about here. Then we're going to start popping, whoops, let me just hold that for a second. We're going to start popping up some of these other elements. Oh, before I do that, let me do the centers. It's a lot easier to stamp them when they're not already on the card. So I'm going to stamp those with the Starry Sky. Like so. Now we can pop them up with a few dimensionals. And put this last flower on here. And then we're also going to pop up the sending. And you can put a regular, whoops, my fingers have sticky on them from the liquid glue, so I'm picking up everything. You're going to want to use a lot of the mini dimensionals as well. It's going to work perfectly on this piece. And you want to have quite a few on there so you get all of the main parts. So everything is going to be popped up equally and not, you don't want it to sag. You don't want your sending to sag. All right. Lots and lots of dimensionals. Those minis really come in handy. All right, we're going to put this right across the bottom here. And then the final piece is a little sentiment. This time it is I have so many sentiments everywhere. It's like, where is the one that I was going to use? Comfort and Strength. Well, we're just going to go with a different one because, oh no, it's this one. Comfort and Strength is the next card from my Too Cool version. There's so many different sentiments. You can pick and choose whichever one you like. Mix and match. So this one says, a card to say hello. So, and this is a fun one that you could use either without the sending or with the sending. Doesn't really matter. And we're going to pop that one up as well. So a few more of the mini dimensionals. All right. And then we'll add that right below here. I just love how it kind of fits in that little groove right there, that little nook. All right, I'll show you what it looks like with the finished pieces on here. So I made, whoops, that's my Too Cool version. Whoops, sneak peek. Here's the finished one that I made. And I just added a little bow with the Starry Sky, put that on with a glue dot, and then added some rhinestones that I had colored in with the dark Starry Sky blends. So that's the that's the bow I was going to put on. Everything's sticking to me because of the adhesive. So there is our last card for our 5-card kit that you can earn free with your $40 order using your host code. It's also the same card that you're going to get in your In Color Club during the Starry Sky month, and you'll get all the supplies to make 4 of this particular card. All right, so then you can see our Too Cool version. I tried some brighter colors even. I kept the Tahitian Tide for the bottom. I used Coastal Cabana, and then the Parakeet Party for the top. I kept the same polished pink for the flowers, but I stamped the middles with the Tahitian Tide this time. I used the Tahitian Tide ribbon and the Coastal Cabana for the Comfort and Strength at the bottom, and then Parakeet Party for the Designer Series paper. And I think I used, yeah, Tahitian Tide for the rhinestones. So love those blends. Fun, fun, fun to make the matching rhinestones. All right, those are all the cards, everybody. So much to show you today. I hope you've enjoyed kind of taking a tour of how you can use some of these fun, new, bright in colors. Let me gather them all up and show you again what's going to be in your kit. So your Orchid Oasis, your Tahitian Tide, your Parakeet Party, and your Sweet Sorbet. So here's all of the cards that will be in your kit. You'll have all the supplies. Remember, anything that is stamped and then die cut, like something like this, or like this, I'm just going to be giving you the basic white cardstock for that, and then you'll either need the sending dies to cut those out or do a little bit of fussy cutting. Not really that much fussy cutting, a little bit for sending, but it's worth it in the end. You'll get the greatest results there. But other than that, you're going to have all the parts and pieces. Everything will be die cut. Everything will be embossed. All you'll need to add are the In Color inks, adhesives, and yeah, that'll be all you'll need for for and the stamps, of course. You'll need the Sending Smiles stamp set. So that's all you're going to need to put these cards together. Again, get your free kit with the $40 order. Minimum is $40 with the new catalog now. And that host code, you're going to want to make sure you put that. That'll be on the checkout page, G2PNWZFA. Again, if you're interested in the In Color Club, you can find out all the information for that on my Too Cool Stamping website, toocoolstamping.com. And that is going to include all of the different in colors, the cardstock, the ink, the refill, the ribbon, the marker, the designer paper, and even the twine. And you're going to get all of the card parts, and actually 4 each of each card. And for each month, you'll get a different color sent to you. So anyway, go to my toocoolstamping.com blog. You'll have all of that information. And then don't forget about the awesome, awesome, awesome In Color Starter Kit. If you are wanting that discount, if you've been looking at participating with that in the past, this is the time. Do not wait. This is the most awesome deal I have seen in quite a while for the starter kit. You'll get all of the In Color pads. You'll get an assortment of cardstock, an assortment of designer series paper, and also the grid paper. So you'll have a nice work space to do all of your stamping. And that's a $66.50, I think it's $66.50 value that is added on top of what you're already getting with the $99 starter kit. You can select anything you want up to $125. Plus, you're going to get 20% off all of your future orders while you remain as part of the Stampin' Up! Family. So many different perks. We talked about them all at the beginning, so if you're interested and you missed that, check that all out at the beginning. Or, of course, you can go to, where can you go? TooCoolStamping.com. It has all of the information there. There's so much going on today, and I have it all summarized there with all your resource links, all the different sign-up links. It's the best place to go for all of the information in one spot, TooCoolStamping.com. One last time, this 5-card kit is going to be available until next Tuesday. Place your orders between now and May 10th, and then it will go out in the mail by the following week on the 17th. All right, everybody, let's wrap it up. Thank you for sticking with me. I know it's been a kind of a long one, but so much fun going on. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I hope you are really, really enjoying these new, cool in colors as much as I am. We'll see you again next week with another new class. Until then, this is Angie with TooCoolStamping.com. Bye-bye.